So we're going to walk around sometimes and take a look at different places in the bosque, and often I'm going to be critical of the project or the place and what we learned from it. This is a great example. This was a porta potty type thing, a outhouse latrine that we made. So we dug a hole. We put a pretty good box right here for sitting on. That's pretty cool. And the hole's quite deep, so it could get used a long time. We then put a structure over it made out of wood and then some cloth around it and a piece of roofing. You can see over here. That's a piece of onduline. And then we had a bucket here for sawdust. Now the problem we have with this is that, well, first we shouldn't really build too many things that are temporary. I like building things that are permanent. Of course, then we have to know why we're building it and how and do it right way. Otherwise, it's a huge waste. So here, one problem is that this bucket was left here, exposed to rain. I just took a look inside of it, and it is filled with baby mosquitoes. This is the rule about having no standing water. There should be no standing water sitting around because it just breeds mosquitoes. And we've got more mosquitoes this year than we've ever had before in any other year. One of the problems with having a very large space is it is hard to maintain control over everywhere. But we have to make sure we walk to different spaces and see what's going on them. The base for this wooden structure wasn't made really well. It's just wood. And I mean, it was an experiment in temporariness. And it has lasted here for years. But overall, I feel like it's a waste. Now, the seat's still usable. The top of it was kind of cramped. And I just don't want to build things that way. We can still experiment with it because there could be peak times when I have, like more people than normal, and I want more camping spots with the things. But it's really tricky. I mean, the other problem is that we don't want to put things in the wrong spots, which is easy to do. So if I was to build a full composting toilet and a comfort station and a bodega, a storage thing, somewhere that I want to develop, I might put it in the wrong spot. Now, I can try really hard to be smart. I have GPS maps. I can envision all kinds of different future uses and things. But it's very easy to make mistakes about what to put where and why. Now, this is not that costly a mistake. The truth is we can just turn this thing back up and not have it used during the rainy season as much. The only reason this was built here is because there's a cabin over here called Beltane, and there's no toilet nearby, which also means it was a bad place to put a building. So things are very spread out here, sometimes too much so. Well, anyway, that's this. What we learned from the porta potty: no standing water. There is an exception to the no standing water rule. It's interesting to note. If you have some water sitting in a big dish, and then the mosquitoes come and lay their babies in it, and then once they've laid their babies, you pour it out, killing the mosquito babies, then you've won. You've actually given them a place to reproduce, and then you've ruined their ability to do it. That's apparently an old Chinese method of mosquito control. I think that's a really good idea. As far as people who think, oh, don't kill anything, well, mosquitoes are one of the worst animals in the world. They're like as bad as humans. They carry malaria, which is not common here. They carry Zika virus, which I don't think is common here. They carry chamazukabuka, something like that. I forgot the name. There was a couple cases of that over in Pottsquirrel. So even though our danger here isn't very great, the rule about not having standing water is extremely important. Plus, simply in terms of comfort, one was just biting my hand right there. In terms of comfort, it's annoying to be out in the evening or in the morning and be attacked by dozens and dozens of these little mosquitoes. And I'm not even the kind of person that mosquitoes like all that much, but there are some people who really attract them. And it's a really bummer thing for their experience. So be vigilant. Don't let that happen.